People spend lots of money and do lots of courses on these communication courses, and all it makes them is robots. Well, I don't need robots. I've got AI. Communication and communicating is one, and that's the communication that you do to yourself. So communication, the skill of communication is 100% of how you communicate to yourself. The self-talk, self-thinking, the self-writing. What you're saying to yourself is 100% what comes out. Every single one of you has a story. Every single one of you has a different story. And you're always communicating that story. Even when you're not talking, even when you're just walking to the supermarket, even when you're just waiting in line at the bank, for example, every single person is communicating a story, and you're saying something through your feelings and your emotions. And it's coming from your self-talk, it's coming from your self-thinking, it's coming from all your self-writing. And so if we master the practices of self-talk, self-thinking, self-writing, we write every single day who we are, what we want to be that person as if we've already got it. Feel the emotions as if you've already got it. It's like, I remember when I did a little bit of acting in my past life, and I did a method acting, and it was like, feel the part. Use your feelings and emotions to be the part. Don't act the part. Feel the part. Be that person. And there was one play that I did where the director really pushed this method. And I reckon for about 2 weeks, I played as if I was this person. And I remember afterwards, like 2 or 3 weeks after playing that part and finishing that part, I felt really nervous, I felt really bad, because I was literally that person for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, leading up to the play and then finishing the play. And the method, by using the feelings and the emotion, literally made me that person. Now think about it, if you can master feeling, and this is when we talk to ourselves, imagine the person, write down the perfect person image of yourself. Write it down. Who am I? What am I doing? What am I living? What am I eating? Who am I with? Now imagine and imagine the feelings of how you are, being that person, living that person. Think of the feelings, and what happens, you start self-talking to yourself, that it's already happened. You start self-talking to yourself that you are this person. And the self-talk needs to be positive, and it needs to be real, and it needs to be purposeful, and you need to have 100% faith. And what you're going to notice, you start acting like this person. You start being this person. You start writing like this person. You start doing transactions like this person. You start learning and communicating like this person. And if you can keep that consistently, and if you can keep that as long as possible, you eventually become that person, and things and people come into your life. I'm amazed. I've started this deep learning journey about 5 years ago. And when I think about it, all these people that have come into my life and all these people that have gone from my life is extraordinary. And I'm having different discussions, and I'm talking to different people, and I'm meeting different people, and my work's changing all the time. And it is amazing that these same people wouldn't have been in my life 5 years before that, and I wouldn't have been having these type of discussions that I'm having now. So the goal is this: be the person that you know you're capable of being. You're a genius. You have genius capability. It's been proven, but you've got to communicate that. And the one skill, you can go and do all these communication courses out there, but what people are so much more interested in is the story that you're communicating. They want authenticity. Why are they talking to you? Why are you listening to me right now? I don't know why you're listening. It's up to you to decide. But for me, this video is about me communicating to me. And I then, whatever you're getting out of that, that's up to you to decide. But communicating, the skills of communicating to yourself is a fundamental skill. And even if you do the deep learning practices for 21 days and you do those practices, if your communication to yourself is not real, is not positive, is not authentic, if what you're saying to yourself is not real, even the deep learning practices are going to be diminished because you're not really believing in what you're doing. You don't really believe it. Your brain's basically saying, look, I'll do these deep learning practices. It's what a friend of mine said. He said, I'm going to do these deep learning practices, Ross, because you're a mate and I want to do the courses, but I don't think much is going to happen to me. Now, that kind of attitude, nothing's going to happen. And that's the same attitude I had when I first started the deep learning journey. I had that same attitude because my self-communication was saying that this is not going to work for me. I've tried everything and this is not going to work. And if you're communicating like that, it doesn't matter what you do, you're not gonna find the fulfillment and the journey that you want to be to the person you want to be, because you're always going to find excuses. And every time there's a problem, you're going to say, oh, there's a problem, I told you. Every time you make a mistake, oh, I'm not good at this. Every time someone criticizes you, oh, see, I told you I'm not good at this. But that's part of the journey of growing. You need to be criticized. You need to be making failures. You need to go through that process because all that is part of the growth. It's part of how we communicate to ourselves. And when we're communicating to ourselves, we're 100%, we're not 50%, we're not even 99%, we're 100%. We're 100% this person. Not, oh, well, I'll pretend to be this person for an hour and then I'll wake up and then I'll realize I'm not this person, I haven't made it, I'm not a billionaire or whatever that is, whatever that person you decide you want it to be. No, you have to know it, you have to feel it, you have to know, because the brain will follow your direction. The brain will believe you and then it will start to act and direct all the infrastructure around you, which is your hands, your body, your legs, everything in your heart. And you will start to be this person because you're communicating into yourself. 100% of what you communicate to yourself is 100% of what comes out. This is the most important skill, better than any communication course out there. Because what the communication courses out there do, they focus 100% on the external. You know, stand up straight, talk normal, use the right words, don't move your hands too much, whatever. But you know what? If what you're communicating to yourself has got gaps to what you're communicating externally, you're not going to be a good communicator, no matter how good your course are. But if you get this 100% right, if you get your self-communication 100% right and you've got an ecstatic desire, people are going to be interested in what you're saying. People are going to want to hear because you're expressing feelings and emotions. People love something that's authentic, something that's real. And if you're saying something that you really believe in and you really believe can change people's lives, people are going to want to be on board. Or at the very least, they're going to want to call you so they can understand what you're doing and how they can be on board. And that is why communicating to yourself and daily, and your dialogue daily will change because events will change, is the best skill you can do to master communications.